Okay, one, I tried to film this video so many times yesterday and I kept messing up, and I was in such a bad mindset. And I was like, you know what, I'll just wait, I'll just refilm it tomorrow and hopefully it will be better. So that's what I'm gonna try to do now. Two, I have just been feeling so motivated to film videos lately. Like, as you guys saw in my aspects of life, balancing life vlog, you know, I talked about, sorry, there's a flashing LED light fidget spinner that's distracting me, so sorry about that. But if you guys saw that vlog, you know that I've been trying to pre-film a bunch of videos and then upload them throughout the school year. So I don't know when this video is gonna go up, but it is currently August 6th today. But yeah, let's get to the point here. Hey guys, it's Zoe here, and today I'm gonna be filming my long-awaited all about piercings video. So I'm gonna be talking about, you know, what piercings I have, my experiences and pain for each one, you know, why I decided to get each one, the care, what other people think. I have my notes here. Let me check my notes. Gotta have my notes because I can't do anything without my notes. Any problems or infections that I've had and how I fixed them, like the solutions for them. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Start with basic what piercings I have. I'm gonna go in order here. Lobe, cartilage, nose. So, okay, let's start with the lobe. I'm gonna say that this first one, I was about 3 when I got that done. I don't remember much about it, but what my mom has told me was, she's like, as soon as you asked for it, we gave you it. I remember not liking it that much, but you know, I was a 3-year-old little baby, so I had a very low pain tolerance. So I can't really answer many questions about this. I'm pretty sure my mom said it got slightly infected one time, but you know, we just used antibiotic ointment and it was fine. So that's all I can really remember about this one. I can remember all the rest of them though. But I'm gonna say that the second one was pretty much the same as the first, except I was 13. I got this one done when I was 13 in December. I vlogged all the other piercings except for the one when I was 3, obviously. So I'll leave a playlist. I'll make a playlist and I'll leave a playlist in the description box. But basically, December 4th is when I got my second piercing on my lobe. It didn't hurt at all. It was like less painful than a shot. It was like just the tiniest of tiny little pinches. It was not bad at all. I went to Piercing Pagoda. I got my first one done at Claire's. Not the biggest fan of Claire's. Don't go to Claire's. Don't recommend going to Claire's. But I went to Piercing Pagoda to get my second lobe done, and they used a gun, which is, again, not the biggest fan of guns. It's more prone to infections when you use a gun than a needle, but that's just the way they did it there, and it was fine. So yeah, it was fine. There's people making noise and it's distracting me. Give me a minute, I'm gonna go talk to them. Okay, sorry about that. I've been really ADD lately. But anyway, so my second piercing that I got was a Piercing Pagoda when I was 13 in December, and that was fine. No problems with it at all. And my third one I got the day after my 14th birthday, so February 11th. And again, it was a lobe. Wasn't too painful. Obviously, the farther you go up, the more painful it gets because you're getting closer and closer, and eventually on your cartilage, which is a bodily tissue, and you know, piercing your bodily tissue is gonna be painful. And I'm gonna say that I did have infections in both of my thirds, but those were the only piercings I got that were ever infected. And I'm not sure why those were the ones, and they were at different times. Basically, I think a month after I got my third piercings, and neither one of them were like too bad infections, but they got infected, but at different times. So this one I got infected, I'll put in a picture. But that one got slightly infected. It had infection bumps and it was kind of bleeding and gross and pus, and it was gross. But it wasn't that bad. It did hurt, but it was past the point where I was allowed to take it out. Basically, for your lobe, you can't take the earring out 4 to 6 weeks after you get it pierced. The cartilage is 8 to 12 weeks. The nose, I watched a bunch of videos on YouTube and they all say 3 months, but the piercing lady said only 4 to 6 weeks. And I'm gonna get into my nose a little bit later, but I'm gonna start with my ears. But basically all I used to fix those problems and infections, oh, and by the way, this video is gonna be all over the place. I had planned to like talk in order, and I was like, you know what, that's just not my personality. I'm an all over the place kind of person. So sorry about that, guys. But just watch the whole video and you'll learn all the information you need to know. So this one did get slightly infected about a month after it was pierced. Actually, wait, like 2 months after it was pierced, sorry guys. So it was beyond the 4 to 6 week period where I was allowed to take it out. So I did take it out, and I used just this basic antibiotic ointment. There we go. It's just this basic antibiotic ointment pack. I just slipped it open. I took a Q-tip and I put a little bit on there, and I just cleaned it around it on the back of it, and it was absolutely fine. It healed within like 2 days, and then like a few months later, this one got infected, which was like a few weeks ago. It got less infected than this one did. It was still had kind of infection bumps. I don't have a picture of that one, but again, just use this and the cleaning care stuff, which I'll get into in a minute. Just used that to took it out, cleaned it, and it healed within like 2 days. So yeah, so now onto my cartilage. That was painful. I talked to my mom because like I got it pierced May 20th. For some reason, I remember all the dates from when I pierced my body. But I only have piercings up here, guys, don't worry. But I remember getting pierced on May 20th because that was one of the worst days of my life. I'm not gonna get into that. But that's when I got pierced, and it did swell up. It hurt. It didn't hurt initially, but right after it was done, it was so painful. And be prepared for your ear to be very sore, very sensitive for a while, because it seemed like now even, I got it pierced May 20th. It is now August 6th, and it's still sensitive and sore. And the other day, Zachary was brushing my hair. He brushed over my ear. It hurt like hell. It hurts so bad. And if Zachary like grabs my face, if he grabs my ears, it hurts so badly. And so I talked to my mom. I was like, shouldn't it have healed by now? And she was like, when I got my cartilage pierced, because she got hers pierced as well, she said it didn't really fully heal for like 6 months. I was like, oh, okay. So just be prepared for that. It's gonna take a while for it to heal. So like I've only taken it out one time, and it was like a really quick change up because I didn't really like the one that I initially got it pierced with. And I was saving one because I had a set of earrings that I loved, and I lost one of them. So I was like, you know what, I'll put that in my cartilage because I only need one for that. So I just quickly switched it out, but I didn't want to take it out for a while until it fully healed. And be prepared for if it does get hit or something happens. And oh yeah, and also I went to Hershey Park, and one of the roller coaster things, it like aggressively went up my ear, and it caused my ear to start bleeding. So be prepared for that, and just try to keep it in as long as you can for, you know, like 6 months until it fully heals and it's not sore and sensitive anymore. So I'm just gonna put that out there. It was painful for a little while. It doesn't hurt now really at all, but if somebody were to hit me or something, I don't know, if somebody brushed over it, it would hurt. So if anything like that happened, again, I just used the basic cleaning stuff, the antibiotic ointment. Yeah, okay, onto my nose. You guys know that I uploaded this video like a little over a month ago. That is my most viewed video ever. It has 4.7 thousand views, which is my most viewed video ever, and it's me piercing it myself. I did pierce it myself. That was not clickbait at all. I explained everything in that video, so if you want a full in-depth on me piercing my own nose and how I prepared for it, how I edited it, go watch that. But I used a 15 gauge sterile needle that I ordered on Walmart. It was individually packaged, sterile needle, 15 gauge. The higher the gauge, the better, because they're bigger. Obviously, if you get a really small gauge, the gauge is like the size of the needle. If you get a really small gauge number, then the hole's gonna be really small. It's gonna like heal really bad. It's gonna be hard to get the nose ring in your nose because it's such a small hole. So I recommend 15 to 20 gauge. That's the recommendation size for gauge number needles if you're gonna do it yourself, which I don't recommend. But the thing is, the reason I wanted to do that was because I read so much research about how it's so bad to pierce your nose with a gun, and the only piercing places around here were Claire's and Piercing Pagoda, and I wasn't going to Claire's, and Piercing Pagoda used a gun, and I didn't want that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use a needle, and I've had zero issues with it. I have gone through some struggles with it where I initially hang on, I'm gonna get my water, I'm thirsty. Okay, so basically, I initially took pliers and bent an earring to make it a nose ring because I didn't have a nose ring when I pierced it myself. And that didn't look good. It just didn't look good. Like, if you're gonna start out, it's okay to start out with an earring that you turned into a nose ring, but it's not gonna work. So you're eventually gonna have to get nose rings. And I went and I got a nose ring, and then I lost it. It fell out, and so I had to put in another earring for a little while. If you guys watch my vlog, you know about this whole thing, but I'm just gonna kind of summarize it for you. So then I had to put in a hoop for a little while until I got other nose rings, and they were corkscrew ones. And apparently, be prepared for this, certain nostrils are too thick for corkscrew nose rings, and mine happened to be one of those noses with nostrils that were too thick for corkscrew nose rings, which are like ones with the spiral, or you like twist it in there. It will definitely allow it to, there's less chance of you losing it or it falling out of your nose, but I wasn't able to get it in, so I exchanged them for L-shaped ones, which is the one I have in now, and I just switched it the other day for the first time since that happened. So I definitely switched it more than somebody should, so I don't recommend doing that. Just if you're gonna pierce it yourself, which I wouldn't, go to like a tattoo parlor or a piercing place that uses needles, and use a real nose ring so that you don't go through all that trouble. And then don't wipe your face too aggressively when you first get it pierced, because that's what I did, and that's how it fell out, and I lost it at a baseball stadium bathroom. So that's just my experience. Learn from my mistakes. That's my goal here. That's why I make videos. I want you guys to learn from my mistakes and learn from me in general. But anyway, so yeah, that is the story of my nose, and let's get on to the care. So for the ears, for the lobes and the cartilage, I use the same care thing. Like I said, if I had any infection, I use the antibiotic ointment, but you know, this is the basic cleaning care gel that they give you. They give you a new bottle for every time you get a pierce, so I had a bunch of bottles of these. This one's not even open because I just kept reusing this one. I was like, why even open this one? So that's why I have a label on it that says use this one. Basically all I did was I took a 100% pure cotton Q-tip. I rubbed it around the earring, behind the earring. Make sure you do that, and make sure you twist the earring, because if you don't twist the earring, it can kind of like stick to your ear, and then it's very difficult for you to like take it out and move it. Just make sure you twist the earring. It'll make it more sterile that way anyway. So make sure you do it all around there. Same thing on the cartilage, anywhere on your ear basically. I mean, I don't have like my tragus or my daith or my rook or all those fancy words. Yep, just my helix or slash cartilage and my lobe. But same thing for both of those. Don't take them out, like I said, for 4 to 6 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks. So yeah, that's all I did for that. And then for my nose, you know, I went through all that trouble. First, I used the sea salt soap. For a little while, I had some dried blood around here. I had no major bleeding when I pierced my nose at all, which was great. And there's no pus, no bleeding. It did bleed a little bit, and I still had some Sharpie on it from when I marked the spot. So I just used the sea salt soap for a little while until I got this. So basically all I did was, you could either soak your nose in it, but that's really annoying to have to like go like this in a bowl and soak your nose in that. So basically all I did was I took like a tablespoon of non-iodized, it has to be non-iodized, pure natural sea salt. So I took a tablespoon of that, put it in a cup, like an 8-ounce cup filled with warm, make sure it's warm water, and kind of stir it around, let it sit there, let it, you know, I don't know what word I'm looking for, formulate for a few seconds. And then I took a Q-tip, I just stirred it around in there, and I put it on the inside of my nostril and all around here. That definitely, I highly recommend that. The piercing lady, when I went to go get the new nose ring, I like asked her how to care for it, and she gave me this, which I'll get into in a minute. But she didn't say anything about the sea salt soap, but I would still highly recommend that. It really helped me to avoid getting any infections in my nose. I've had no problems with this since I got it pierced a little over a month ago. So I highly recommend that. Put it on the inside and on the outside, and then I stopped using that. I just used that for like 2 weeks. Then I got this, which was like $3. It's this. There we go. This is the Piercing Care Gel by Mediceb. I'm assuming that says, but it's just basic piercing care gel that I used on my nose, and you don't put it on the inside. But basically I just squeezed a little thing of this, little blob of it on a Q-tip and just went all around my nose, and I did that. Oh, by the way, this applies to ears and nose. Make sure you're doing it twice a day, every day, for as long as you have to keep them in. So 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks. Make sure you're doing it twice a day, every day. So yeah, what else do I have on this list? Okay, pain. Okay, so pain. Lobes, like I said, like 0.5 out of 10. Didn't hurt at all. Cartilage, I would say 5 out of 10. That was pretty painful. It wasn't anything I couldn't handle, obviously, but it was pretty painful. Nose, okay, so my nose was not really painful. On the like physical pain scale, I would do like a 2 or 3 out of 10, but it was kind of more uncomfortable, nerve-wracking, especially because I was doing it on myself. Nerve-wracking and scary. It was more of that than painful. So just be prepared. Like I felt like I was numb, like my legs were shaking, and it was just really nerve-wracking nerve-wracking and scary more than painful. So that's what I have to say about that. Okay, reasoning why I pierced each. Well, initially, like I said, I got the first one just because, you know, I was like a little 3-year-old. I wanted to get my ears pierced, so I used to receive presents that were like clip-in earrings, and I've always been, I still am, I always will be, the kind of person that will not do fake stuff, like fake jewelry, fake anything. I will only have the real deal stuff. I will not buy super cheap rings. I will only have real ones. I can't have them because I'm allergic to them, because I've bought cheap rings, they've turned my finger green, and I have to have gold posts on my earrings because I'm allergic to any other material other than gold for some reason. But in general, I've always been the kind of person that like will only have the real deal stuff. I will never have cheap knockoffs. So originally I was not having the clip-in earrings. I wanted my ears pierced. So that was the reasoning for my first one. The second one is like, seems like everybody was getting their... So I want to say the reasoning behind all of them is to look more mature, because you guys know I'm an extremely tiny person. I'm 4'10", I'm 84 pounds, I have no boobs, I have no butt, and I'm in high school, so it's rough. It's really, really rough because all these girls look so mature and I look like a 9-year-old. People think I'm literally 10. I don't even remember what it's like to be 10. That was so long ago for me. So it's really rough. So I've been trying to find ways to make me look more mature, and that way has been jewelry, having these piercings, having my rings, I've been definitely dressing more maturely lately, but I'm gonna say that's the main reason behind all of them. But specifically, I felt like I wanted a second piercing because everyone was getting their second piercing, and then my third one, and then it seems like everybody had their second piercing, and I wanted to be unique and different. I'm always the kind of person that's had the desire to be unique and different and to look more mature, because like I said, so I wanted my third, so I got my third, and then I was like, I want to move to the next level of unique and different, so I got my cartilage, and everyone's like, you're so lucky, it looks so good, and I felt really good. And then I pierced my nose because I wanted the next level of unique and different and mature, and it's just my way of self-expression, you know. I'm never gonna be the kind of person, I mean, obviously it's not legal for me now, but I don't think I'll ever be the kind of person to get any tattoos. I don't like the permanentness of tattoos. Piercings are not permanent, because if you take them out, they'll close up eventually, but I like my piercings. I would never get crazy piercings. I would never get any mouth piercings. I would never get my eyebrows pierced. I would never get weird face piercings. The only other piercing I'm considering in the future when I'm an adult, like when I'm like a senior in high school or something, is a belly button piercing, but that's the only other piercing I'm considering ever again. Maybe another lobe or like cartilage or something like that on my ears, but there's just certain, I would never get my septum. There's just certain piercings that look so uncomfortable to me, so I would never do crazy ones like that. But those were really the only reasons I would get these piercings, was to be more mature looking and unique and different looking. So what do other people think of them? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know at all. At first my parents were not keen on the nose piercing, but eventually first of all they realized they couldn't do anything about it, and if they tried to take it out of my nose, then that would cause more problems that would lead to infections, and they've gotten used to it by now. I've gotten used to it. I like the way it looks now. Every other piercing, my parents have been totally supportive of me, because they're like, it's your way of self-expression and it's not like it's harmful. So, but I don't know what peers think. I really don't, and I don't really care, to be honest. This is my choice. This is my form of self-expression. Yeah, and I already talked about any problems I had. The only problems I had were minor infections that I just used antibiotic ointment for, and the cleaning ear care solution stuff. That's how I solved it, and it was fixed within days. So that's pretty much all I have for this video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it really helped you out. I hope I helped you prepare for any piercings you might get. I didn't want to film. I was gonna film this video a little while ago, but I didn't want to film it until I got my nose piercing, because now I feel like I have the basic ones down: lobe, cartilage, nose, the basic ones, except for belly button, which I'm not gonna get for a while. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this video and my channel to those that you think might be interested, and leave me comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed. Love you. Bye.